Listen, if you need a 2026 strategy for your business, you are in the right place, because this is what I'm doing in my business and this is what I'm teaching others to do in their business. Now, listen, I'm not that person that says you're going to make X amount of dollars in 2 days. I'm not that person, but what I am is that person that can say you can create more opportunities for yourself just by using your voice if you, with intention, decide to do one thing, and that is to ask. Ask for business, ask for referrals, ask for partnerships. This is literally what I did this fall. I did what I have now deemed the 900 Ask Challenge. And this is how it happened. I literally was sitting, journaling about being better in business, desiring to be more successful. My favorite journal question is asking myself why. And I asked myself, why do I have a successful business? And the answer I know came straight from the Lord was because you weren't afraid to ask. And so I was inspired to create this 900 Ask Challenge, asking 30 people a day for 30 days for referrals, for a meeting to really discuss how I can support them, asking for business, asking for testimonials. And so I didn't actually hit my 900 goal, but I learned so much from it. And I'm teaching people what I learned and how I've reworked it to continue doing it, because out of this challenge, I got 37 opportunities. Those opportunities go across so many different things. Some of them were B2B customers, potential customers that wanted to work with me and wanted to have more conversations. Some of them were keynote opportunities. Some were solid. Some were like, hey, send me your information. I want to see how you can be on one of our stages. Some of them were podcast opportunities. One gave me the opportunity to pitch them an offer. I pitched for the very first time a 100K offer, and it was received with gladness. They still needed to approve their budget. So in the meantime, they did do a starter contract with me for 25K, which is still amazing. And so I got so many great opportunities and shared with this information with so many people that are in my circles. They were like, Des, this is something that people would need. Like, this is so encouraging, especially as solopreneurs or people that work full time. I have so many women that work full time that are also experts, and they also have their business where they're coaching, consulting, sharing their services with people around speaking and all of that. And they're looking to do something simple. They are on social media, which is fine, but they're not as savvy around ads or posting a whole bunch of times or doing videos, but they have a great network, or at least they know they have something, but they haven't tapped into it. And this can be a really easy way for people to just start putting themselves out there. Now, you might already feel like this is something that people always say, do talk to your network, talk to your network. But I'm talking about being more intentional and challenging yourself to get out of your own way, to ask for what you really desire, and to ask the people that you really desire to have things from. And so that's what I challenge myself with. And so it's not about just asking, but it's also how you ask. It's not just about sales, but it is about connection and relationship, which, is also sales, but it's really about connection. It's about relationships. And it is about being the person that steps into the person that is not afraid to ask for what they desire. And so it did so much for me, not just because of those 37 opportunities that I created, but it did so much for me as identifying as this soft life CEO that is powerful and soft, and really stepping into these conversations, detached from the outcome, and really standing in my power. And so I want to give you 5 things that you can do if you desire to do this 900 Ask Challenge in 2026, because I do think it's a really great strategy to get the year started, to get some new leads, to get you comfortable having conversations about maybe a new offer, how much you plan on creating an offer for, maybe you're raising your rates, what have you. So I want to look at my notes. The first thing is you get to think about what you desire. I did not go into this not knowing what I desired. I actually wanted to do it for 2 things, because I have 2 businesses. I wanted to do it for my nonprofit to help raise money, and I wanted to do it for my current business, which is coaching and consulting and speaking. And so I decided to take that 30 days and just do it for my business that is coaching consultant, this one right here, because it was easier to navigate asking people around one area of my life. And so I'm doing that. This next time around, though, I'm doing it for my nonprofit. So I'm excited about the results that I'll get from that. So the next thing is, after you know what you desire is, that was one part, my bad. I knew what I desired in my business, which is I wanted to increase the revenue that I had before the year was out. And I wanted to get a head start on leads in business areas or in some of the offers that I had for 2026. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I haven't been asking for referrals or testimonials lately. Let me hit up some of my clients, ask them for referrals, ask them for testimonials. And then, naturally in that conversation, some of them may ask for, other services and all of that. So that was helpful. I also asked for partnerships, people that I talk to. We have similar ideal client profiles. We do similar work. So it gave me an opportunity to have conversations. I actually was invited to be a part of a summit, an online summit as a result of one of these conversations. So that was like a really great way to, kind of get business going and get in front of new audiences by leveraging each other's audience. And then the last one was literally, let me talk to some people about, pitching, working with them in business. So some B2B clients, some B2C clients, let me just literally have some conversations with those people. So I knew what I wanted. I wanted to have an increase in my revenue, and I wanted to increase my leads for the following year. And so I definitely did that in doing this challenge. So know what you desire. All right, next thing is making sure that you be the person that asks. So I had to do a lot of mental, a lot of emotional, a lot of spiritual work to help me be grounded and being okay, because one of the biggest fears that I've dealt with over the years is not wanting to feel like I'm bothering people. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something from childhood, but not wanting to make people upset. Sometimes we read people's physical cues and you can kind of tell when someone is annoyed or irritated or upset with an ask. And I read this book a while ago called Rejection Proof. And what I loved about this book is it talks about that, people saying no to you has nothing to do with you. It has more to do with them and their needs. And so that was so helpful to me. So I would remember some of the things that I learned from that book and remind myself that I'm not a bother. People's answer has nothing to do with the core of who I am. It is something to do with what they have going on. And then I'm also highly emotionally intelligent when it comes to social interactions, which helps me move faster along with things like this, as well as help others think about ways that they can move with conversations that they're having with other people. When I would go through someone on my list and they were somebody I wanted to pitch, but maybe I haven't talked to them in a long time, I did not pitch them on that call. I'm okay with the long game because I'm very relational. I'm like, you know what? Let me just check in on them. Let me see how they're doing. Some people I just checked in and they are the ones that asked for business. I had no intention on asking them for anything in that interaction other than just for a meeting, just to catch up, what have you. And so having that emotional intelligence, being that person that can hold that space when you're asking. So being the person, figuring out who do I need to shift into to actually do some challenge like this. The next thing is make the ask beneficial to the person. So whether I talked about referrals or testimonials, sometimes I would offer something for a testimonial or referral. I was offering people, an opportunity to get like a one-on-one call with me, or sometimes I would give them the opportunity to email me any question, ask me anything, and I'll answer it for you. Or partnerships, making sure that I'm asking people that my audience will also benefit them. Otherwise, it can't just be one-sided. Then obviously when you're pitching your business, it should be a problem that they actually want solved. Not trying to make people solve a problem that they're not ready for or they don't want, because that's not beneficial. They don't care. The next thing is be consistent. And so that is where I had to make some adjustments because I was not consistent on the 30 days. It was way more than I could actually handle, considering I was traveling for work. I was also doing a lot of fulfillment in my other consulting contracts. So 30 people a day was a bit much. So I wasn't consistent. So I ended up actually reaching out to more like 190 people than 900 people. So almost 200. So I kind of changed the challenge up a bit so that you're not reaching out to 30 a day, but do less. Whatever you do, be consistent as much as possible. And even if you miss a day, okay, you weren't consistent by doing it every day, get back on the horn, get back on it as soon as possible and keep consistent with the actual challenge. And then the next thing is detach from the outcome. I had to really calm my nervous system. You see me hold my chest. had to really calm my nervous system down to be okay with, hey, everybody doesn't have to say yes. Because you know what? There are billions of people in the world. And there are a lot of people that will say yes, but you're going to have some no's. There are going to be some people that don't care about this and don't care about wanting to do this for you right now because it's not important to them. And that's okay. And so I detached myself from people saying yes because I knew if I keep talking to people, keep talking to the right people, keep refining my messaging, at some point, someone's going to say yes. It's going to be someone that is at the right time and the right place. So I hope this was helpful to you. And if it was, then you definitely want to come to my 3-day change challenge where I break all of this down. I'm going to help you get clear on what you want to do in 2026. I want you to get into the identity, step into the woman that actually is the person that is going to do this work. And then I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the 300 Ask Starters. So I did the 900 Ask Challenge, but because of my experience, I broke it down to, you know what, maybe you should start with a 300 Ask Challenge. And so I'll have all of that for you at the 3-day change challenge. So go ahead and click below and I look forward to seeing you at the challenge.